Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Elvis, and you're watching Joe Navarre House. And today we are watching the 100th movie, which is Ghost Dog. And I'm watching with my good friend, Sabin.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, let's just get talking into this movie. When I first saw this movie, I saw it when I was at Barnes and Noble, and I saw Forrest Whitaker and Ghost Dog, and I took a picture of the title. I was like, oh fuck, that movie looks cool.
Yeah.
And I saw that it was on HBO. I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch it. Just that first notes of the song, and I was like, fuck, dude, this is really good. And I saw the pigeon like kind of going in these like multiple crossfades, and I was like, damn, this is so cool. And then in red, music by the RZA, and I was like, holy shit! Like I haven't even heard a word yet, but
Yeah.
I love this already. Yeah,
Same. I think I learned of this movie because of you.
Yeah.
And you had come over and we watched it almost a year ago. Almost. Maybe less. Maybe like 7 months, 8 months.
I think so. I remember finishing it, instantly texting you, and I think I saw it the next day with you.
Yeah,
or
probably.
within
something like that.
Yeah, it was within the week. I was like, holy shit! Like this is an experience. Like you have to watch
for
this.
sure. Yeah. It's one of those movies that blends a lot of things together seamlessly.
Right, and I guess for me it was a lot of things that I really liked, like 90s,
for sure. Yeah.
East Coast rap, samurai swords.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get into the habit of saying swords instead of I can't even say it again. Swords. I can't say swords. I'm trying to get into the habit of saying swords. It's so dumb, but
Liquid sword.
liquid swords, 90s East Coast rap,
Yes.
pigeons, samurais, guns, cars, spy stuff, and
Spy stuff. Mob stuff.
mob stuff, and like it just blends it all together.
And like a little western.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, I love this movie.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I think I just like looked at you in disbelief after we watched it. It's just like, damn.
Yes.
It's like it's not something I knew I needed until after I watched it.
Yes. It was like
It was so good.
like if you're a fan of the Boondocks, Afro Samurai, Goodfellas, semi-luxury cars, this is definitely the movie
Yeah.
for you. It's so damn good. People need to watch this.
Yeah, the performances are great. Forrest Whitaker's great for the main character of Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
All the mob guys are kind of just like, they're not really, like, they're your stereotypical mob guys, but they're probably very few of them that you actually recognize, which I think actually is great, kind of plays into like, you know, if it were like De Niro and Pesci and somebody, it's like, yeah, they probably could have been in this movie, and they might have overshined Forrest Whitaker a little bit just because of how prolific they are for like their mob stories and like Scorsese stories.
Right.
So it was nice that the mob guys are kind of lesser known guys, and it kind of, like what I was saying, is plays into like sort of the decline of these guys. So it's not some big name that it's like, okay, these guys are declining, yet, you know, whatever, De Niro is still in here
Right.
doing whatever he's doing or something, but it's like, it's just like, these are just dudes now.
Yeah, these look like a group of dads at a cookout when their son is already like 12,
Yeah.
pushing 20.
For sure.
Like their prime is way behind them.
Way behind them.
I wrote down in my notes that the Italian mob are ignored / disrespected and not unnoticed. They are actively being just ignored, and
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just nobodies now.
They are nobody.
They owe rent to 4 different people. Those people are threatening them with no repercussions.
The very first scene you really get with the Italian mob is a client of theirs being chump chained, and the mob boss is like, I'll get it to you tomorrow. No worries, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's like these people clearly don't have their shit together. They're not in some kind of like Goodfellas, beautifully romanticized trope. This is like, like, I don't know if it's in this scene or no. They're hanging out with.
At the beginning of the video, probably.
Right, they're hanging out with the workers of the restaurant outside. In the kind of like alley, kind of grimy place.
Yeah.
And that's where they have to operate. Like it's.
Yeah, just out of some random Chinese restaurant.
Right. One thing that really solidified that for me is when Ghost Dog is walking through the sidewalk, and he's not necessarily interacting with these people, but he is like flossing between these people's vision. Where that guy comes out and he's looking out, he's invisible.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want them, because Ghost Dog doesn't want them to see him, as opposed to the Italian mob. They're out there, prevalent in the corners of the street, and people are just walking right by them.
They're hanging on to their glory days.
Yes.
To their, they're the peaked in high school types.
Yes.
They're like, it was better 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, no one cares about you now.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are you're obsolete.
So this has this very like Akira Kurosawa intro. I saw Yojimbo like last year.
Sure.
And the way it starts is like this wide exposition shot, slowly getting closer and closer, and I think it goes through a window to reveal the character, and that was almost exactly how this started, and I was like, holy hell, this is so rich with culture from at the time, the present day, and from before. Like I think it's in a way timeless.
Yeah. I think how we were discussing it blends all of the genres it's trying to participate in seamlessly.
With respect.
With respect, seamlessly, but it also blends those times together as well.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, this is a very 90s movie.
Right.
Like, turn of the century movie.
Right.
But everything that is in this movie is some sort of old way, kind of ancient culture adjacent in the modern day, with modern conventions and just modern technology, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like Ghost Dog is a samurai, but his weapon of choice
is a gun.
Is a gun.
Yeah, and
it's cool.
And that leads to the way he handles his gun. And of course you can't see. Right. You can't always see what he's pointing at. So he has a red laser.
Yes.
And when he does the first hit, the red laser is obviously on him. And then he shoots, and then he shoots again.
Yes.
And the witness, the girl, sees him, and he flinches and points the gun at her, and she has a red dot on her chest, and then it disappears. He turns it off because he's that is the only physical. It is the equivalent of like raising your blade down as a samurai.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
Right, and
for sure.
He turns off his red light and even puts his gun down, I think.
Yeah, he points it at her for a second, and then he realizes what is happening, and he kind of just disarms himself, essentially.
And I think he even recognizes real when she dropped her Rashomon book.
Yeah.
And he was like, student of the culture.
He's like, I like that, actually.
He was like, and he picks it up. He was like, he's like, he just takes it.
I guess you could borrow it.
Yeah. And man, I thought that is so cool.
Yeah, that was something I also wrote down was just like Ghost Dog getting off 3 shots on this guy.
Right.
Before he even his face is stunned because obviously he gets shot the first time.
Right.
It's like he's almost, he plays it. Oh, what do you want? My Rolex, whatever. Just thinks it's some like petty crime.
Right.
Then he gets shot and he's like, oh, whoa. But then it also just kind of shows his proficiency. Like he gets 3 shots off on this guy. He shoots him in the stomach, which definitely isn't a kill shot. Shoots him in the chest.
Yeah.
And then shoots him directly in his forehead, like right middle of his forehead, before this guy even has a chance to like think or even fall over from the fatal wound that he already has.
Right.
And I don't know, it almost just shows his proficiency and his expertise and his skill level within the craft he has chosen to pursue. It's cool. For sure.
Speaking about weapon proficiency, the scene where he's on the roof after napping with the pigeons.
Yeah, that's literally the next thing I wrote down.
Yeah, dude, I wrote,
it just looks so peaceful.
That is exactly what I said. I wrote napping with pigeons never looked so good. Dude, and like it looked very nice, very harmonious, very peaceful.
Yes.
But there is poop everywhere, and food everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like the conditions, like none of it matters. I think in one of those scenes it talks about with the peacefulness. I think before that there's an excerpt from the book that he's reading that explains that a samurai, every time he's like comfortable, should think of himself dead. Like swords being swung at him, rifles being shot at him, like, yet he's so peaceful in that fact.
Yeah,
and I think that speaks to like he's living the code, man. And then even the dream he's having while he's sleeping is just like thinking of himself dead. Like he's
him almost dying.
Yeah, he's replaying it day in and day out, but it's peaceful for him.
Right. Cool. Yeah, it's just the meditative state is just always there. There's always this harmonious discipline to him. It's
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
Dude, it is so appealing, like.
Yeah.
It's nice. What I was trying to say about weapon holy shit. What I was trying to say about weapon proficiency is that scene where he's up there after taking a nap with the pigeons, and he pulls out his katana, and he's like running his courses and like his movements, and then he pulls out a machete, and he starts like kind of like making these movements. I don't know how to fight with the machete, but man, he made it look like he knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, yeah, that fucking makes sense.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
See, look, I don't know if that is how you handle a machete, but that looks correct.
Oh, he kicked my ass for sure.
100%.
After that point of the movie, you kind of notice that, like, back to the mobsters, what I wrote down is what I just randomly noticed was, like, there's not a single young mobster in this movie. They're all, like, 50 pushing 300. Like, they're ancient at this point.
I swear to God, if you dropped one of them, they wouldn't sound like anything. They would just sound like all the pill containers. The cough drops and the 1,000 keys that they had carrying them.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially that one guy that was holding the shotgun. What are you? What are you?
What are you? But then even when you're like seeing that, we were talking about how they're standing outside of the Chinese restaurant, and that's when Louis goes and meets the three guys. Louis seems like the only competent mobster.
I was just gonna say that
left.
He looks like the youngest out of everybody there.
Yeah.
You know, and we were talking about like the dissolve and all these things.
Yeah.
And I noticed something when he was like at the peak of the fighting. There was like 4 layers, then 3, and 2, then 1. And I thought, damn. The editing is so good. I've never been like that. I've never been able to really point out or really appreciate editing until I saw this.
Yes.
Yeah.
This movie's edited so well too.
It is.
It's pretty seamless from beginning to end, which is great. All movies should be, but
right.
you know, some don't achieve it as well.
I wrote that this film doesn't mind letting the movie breathe in silence. There's been so many times like when the mobster met the other 3 mobsters, at the end they was just staring back at each other.
Oh yeah, when Louis was sitting across from them, they were all just staring into this man's soul.
Right,
but it was silent.
And it didn't necessarily feel tense, but it felt. But it also didn't feel awkward. It almost felt like maybe like pathetic.
Yeah, I think it would have felt uncomfortable if you didn't realize how pathetic these guys are. Like their whole conversation before that is, he's like, he sends me messages by birds. What kind of bird? What do you mean?
A pigeon.
No, like, a passenger pigeon.
He said passenger pigeon.
Like they're so pathetic, and then they're like staring Louis down while he's sitting across from him, and he's obviously feeling the heat because like these people control his destiny at this point.
Right. They still have some kind of power.
They have pull within their organization.
Right.
So it's like these guys respect them and all. You know, these are made guys. You're just trying to scoot by.
Right.
But in that moment, they're pathetic.
Yeah,
like
and
you said.
Each scene that involved the mob bosses, there was always this exposition shot that just panned from one corner of the room to the other, and it was just dirty, grimy. They were literally in a utility closet.
Yes.
With some kind of whack ass cloth over the table, no matching cup set.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
yeah, it's just, yeah, they are the smallest, most pathetic, and yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it really made Louis look competent, and you know, of the times almost, even though he wasn't. But it's like he's one of those things where like they're talking about Ghost Dog, and the 3 old dudes, the 3 heads, are just barking and talking about, you know, like, who is this guy? Why does he do it? And Louis is like, I don't care. This dude's iced. He's done like 12 seamless, flawless jobs for me.
Right.
Didn't come back to us. Didn't come back to him. Didn't come back to anybody. These people are just gone. And he's like, I don't care how he does it. I don't even see him. I pay him once a year for everything I ask him to do, and he just does it.
And I think he even warned them, like, you know, this is a very dangerous man. This might turn out badly for us. But they were just so filled with their pride and whatever is left of their glory.
I liked a lot of the folly, like the sounds in the movie. It's just like nobody in this movie had sounds but Ghost Dog, but like all the sounds for Ghost Dog, even when he's pulling out his pistol and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like traditional samurai
Right.
folly for like moving a sword or like a weapon.
Right.
And it was sick because nobody else in the movie had it. It was only him. It only applied to him.
Right.
Because that's his lifestyle.
Right.
And it was perfect.
And
Speaking of the Lexus, the freaking that little like reader thing.
Right.
Cool as hell. I don't know what it's doing, but it's working for me.
It is on some James Bond shit.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
love
cool.
just the little. Dude, I love that. If I can get that as like a ringtone or like a charm, like a notification, just to.
Yes.
Oh fuck! It's so cool.
Yes. So good. Yeah. Ghost Dog's just a man of the culture, man.
Truly. Also, if you're a fan of Bernie Mac, you would really appreciate Vanessa in this. This is like one of her earliest roles, and it's so cool. If you're also a fan of books, whether it be from Scholastic or from any kind of bookstore, dude, this is Scholastic encoded.
Yes, sir. They're just for the culture. They love reading.
Yeah.
And, there's probably a few books in here worth reading.
Yes.
If I read.
Yeah.
I'll just kidding.
Yeah.
But,
I think in this scene right here, they have a Frankenstein excerpt,
yeah.
and the last thing he reads just encapsulates everything that is Ghost Dog. You wrote that too, dude?
Reads the end of Frankenstein that almost describes himself
Yes.
jokingly.
Oh, dude.
But no, it just does encapsulate him.
Yes. Yes, it does.
It seems that he resonates with probably the very last thing said in the book
Yeah.
near the ending.
Yeah.
This is very, like, spoiler encoded.
Yeah.
But it's just something we have to discuss. If you've seen the movie,
Congratulations.
you've won
Dude.
in life.
Yes.
Because this is one of the ones worth watching.
Yes, this is instantly, it just stuck on me. It was like, it's the bass to music. This is
Yeah, the RZA doing the music in here, fantastic.
the RZA's cameo,
Fantastic.
dude. And
I think that's his debut, his acting debut.
right, because he made this, I think, just right after 36 Chambers,
Oh, I did not know that.
within
Nice.
2 or so years,
Yeah.
and holy shit.
Yeah, I know from interviews that I've seen of Jim Jarmusch. I actually watched. There's like a little documentary
Mm-hmm.
on this, or maybe not a documentary, but like a sneak peek inside of it where it has Jim Forrest and the RZA
Mm-hmm.
all sitting together discussing the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very insightful. It was like this movie was specifically made for Forrest Whitaker
Mm-hmm.
and the RZA.
Yes.
Not in that, but there's another interview where Jim Jarmusch talks about meeting Forrest Whitaker for the first time
I saw that same exact
in a parking lot for a film lab that processes Super 8 film. Forrest Whitaker's into Super 8 film, I guess.
Yeah.
And they just have a discussion, and Forrest says to him what Jim describes as like very sincerely. He's like, if you ever have a role for me, I'd love to do something with you.
Yes.
And he talks about how actors usually say that, and it's, I don't know, it's just same thing with us. We're like both photographers, but oh, I'd love to shoot with you. I'd love to do something. It's like it's kind of just something that comes out in passing and you say, but he saw it as like a very sincere gesture, which I'm sure it was, and he specifically formulated this movie for Forrest Whitaker.
Right.
And then he was like, my dream person to score this or do the music for it would be the RZA.
Right.
And got both of them and just created this absolute masterpiece.
Dude, it is a fucking masterpiece. I guess for those who aren't photographers, it's like the equivalent of going to Walmart and you meet somebody from high school and they're like, hey, we should catch up. And they're like, yeah. Fuck no, dude.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, dude, I don't want to do nothing.
Just down. I don't fucking care. No, this is perfect. And even with whatever flaws it has,
yes,
like they're so tiny that you just instantly steamroll by them. You don't even think about them.
Yeah, they're just overshadowed by everything else that happens.
Rap music plus honorary discipline plus guns and blades equals Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Ah, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it's crazy too, because I don't know, this is a bit of a spoiler, but like every car stolen in this movie, just to add on to that, you know, gun sorts and add cars into it, every car that is taken in this movie is just some sort of luxury vehicle. Yes. Like we're not taking the very stereotypical like, oh, this is a beater, I can go take this with a screwdriver. This is like, I'm taking top of the line 3-figure cars.
Yes.
Off the streets.
Yes.
And it's sick.
Yes.
It's like there's no compromise whatsoever anywhere in this.
So the first car he takes is the Lexus LS, or it's not an LS, it's a GS. And the other car was just
400, yeah.
Right, and then the other car was a Mercedes, but it was like an older C-Class.
Yeah.
Was there a third car?
Yeah, he steals the lady's car outside of
the Jaguar.
The Jaguar, yeah.
I thought that whole scene was so nice. Like, I've seen so many action movies where like they jump in a car or they steal it and they drive off with no kind of consequence of what happens afterwards. And this movie it is not afraid to really let you sit in the world as a witnesser. And you witness Ghost Dog steal his car while this lady goes in for alcohol, comes back, and is like, oh shit, my car.
Yeah, doesn't even notice her car is stolen.
Right. Back
to his proficiency and mastery.
Right. And it doesn't feel like a detour or a distraction. It feels so connected. It feels so not necessary. Or
I don't know. Yeah, it is Ghost Dog.
It is Ghost Dog.
Like if he's stealing a car, that's the way he's stealing a car. This man took the car and he was 2 blocks away and around the corner before this lady even came outside.
Yes. Yeah.
She didn't know her car was gone.
No.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, these 2 goofballs. All these goofballs. A lot of harsh language in this.
Holy hell. The oldest guy, I don't even know his name. The oldest guy of the 3 mobsters.
Polly, Jimmy, Johnny,
yeah,
something.
You know, let's call him Pops. Pops has the foulest language I've ever heard.
Yeah, the extremely racially motivated, foul, disgusting, like, it's crazy.
Yes.
Like I don't think you'll see a movie
I think
for the next 40 years with language like this in the movie. Like it's pretty intense.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know how else to talk about this. Like I don't want to get into like spoilers or anything. But
no, we already spoiled the whole damn movie.
I wanted to talk more about Jim Jarmusch, just like the miracle that happened about getting Forrest Whitaker, the RZA, and the editor. Like I don't, like I think it was some kind of like miracle or some kind of stars that truly did align for them to make this, it's like this masterpiece.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, like we explained it, but like this was in one of the interviews. He talks about how he had this script for this movie, and he pitched it to Forrest, and like through the whole process as he was writing the movie, they were talking back and forth, and also like with the RZA, they were all three talking, having sessions where they're talking for 5+ hours, just discussing the movie. But he was like, if there was some case in which Forrest was incapacitated, I guess, like not available to do the movie, he was like, I don't think I would have shot the movie. I would have waited for him to become available for it.
Mm-hmm.
And just that it even aligned in a way that he was able to make it happen with the lead actor that he absolutely wanted.
Yes.
And wrote this movie exactly for, and then had the vision of this movie having music done by the RZA, and somehow miraculously meeting him somewhere in his life where he could pitch this movie to him,
Mm-hmm.
and him being ecstatic about it because he wanted to break into to like
film composition.
Yeah, to film composition. Yeah. And just like, you're right, like every single star in the sky lined up perfectly and led to a path where all three of these people could come together. And then even his editor, I forget the editor's name. Robbie, I forget, but I think they had worked together previously on maybe Dead Man with Johnny Depp.
Robinwitz?
Yeah, Jay Robinwitz, yeah.
Yeah, same editor.
Same editor.
Same editor.
Nice. Yeah, haven't seen that movie, but gonna watch it.
Yeah, that might be next.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Jim Jarmusch. He's like slowly becoming one of my favorites. I don't think his movies are quite conventional.
Right.
Like they don't. They're a little formulaic, but they like breathe a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking all these big words. No, they feel organic. They feel like people are allowed to have input in it.
Yeah.
And it's not like hit the beat, hit the beat, hit the beat, hit the beat. It's like things will happen, and then like you said earlier, it'll breathe. It's so multi-layered with little things. Like that's, I don't know, you've seen this movie 3 times? 4, 5?
I think this is probably 5.
I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
And you're always picking up
New things.
a little bit of something, or thinking about it a little bit later on and going, oh, whoa.
Look, the ending with the bear pajamas,
Yeah.
I noticed that right now, after the 5th watch.
After the 5th watch, yeah.
And I mean, I can't make, maybe I'll watch it 100 times and I'll still notice something new. And I'm excited to watch it 100 more times.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Definitely.
Dude, this movie's perfect. Perfect. Regardless of its flaws, I love this movie so damn much.
Sure.
To me, this is a 10 out of 10. 10.
10 out of 10. How would I rate this movie? I think if I rated in different categories, per se, aesthetically, or the way it was made, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Everything 10 out of 10 except for editing. I think I'm not a huge fan of the dissolves and like the double exposures. I think they work really well in this movie, and they're there for reasons. I just personally am not like a huge fan of it being used. So that kind of distracts from me, but like even then it's like still rating it like 8.5 out of 10. So overall it's probably like a 9.89 out of 9.89 out of 10. And it's like it might as well just be a 10 out of 10.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't like mayo, but sometimes the sandwich needs mayo. You know, like